Hi, I'm Cassidy Shaffer, and this is part 2 of the Linux files tutorial. In this video, we'll be discussing file basics. Everything in Linux is either a file or a process. A file is a collection of data with a location called a path. A process is an executing program identified by a unique process identifier, usually abbreviated to PID. The Linux kernel is responsible for organizing processes and interacting with files. Let's use the command line rm myfile.txt as an example to go through the steps that Linux goes through in order to complete this task. Note that in order for this to work, myfile.txt must be in your current working directory. Linux first searches the file system for the file containing the remove program. Linux next creates a new process, given a PID, to run the command with an instruction to remove myfile.txt. The process requests the kernel to delete the reference to myfile.txt in the file system. Once the process is complete, the system is ready for the next command line, and the PID is given to the process is no longer assigned to it. Note that in this case, the process was initiated by the command line, but processes can also be initialized via a graphical interface. There are 3 commands that can be used for viewing a file in a Linux terminal: cat, more, and less. Now I'll show you the differences between these commands by doing a quick demo in a Linux terminal. Now here I have opened a Linux terminal, and in my current working directory I have a file called examplepaper.txt that I'll be using to show you how we can view files in Linux. So the first command that we talked about was cat. So I type in cat and then my file name. And as you can see, right here I have it typed in the document that this is the end of the document. Now cat, it puts your command line right here, so it might be a little confusing, but just note that your cursor is right here. And the only way you can scroll up is to kind of highlight and get your scroll bar to come up, and then scroll up and down. Okay. So let's clear the terminal. And the next command that we can use is more. Now more is a little bit different than cat. We start at the top of the file and then it fills up a whole page, and then when we're ready to move on we go down by a spacebar. We use spacebar until we get to the end. Okay. The next command, let's clear the terminal first. The next command is less. Now less is very similar to more. You can navigate through with the spacebar, but the only difference is that if I type in lowercase g, it'll take me to the start of the document, and if I type in capital G, it'll take me to the end of the document. And then I cannot go back to put in a new command line until I hit Q to quit. I hope this gave you a better understanding on how to view files in Linux. See you in the next video.